This week, Jonny Robot takes to the streets of Forza Horizon 2 in an assortment of virtual rust buckets. I chat to Arthur Parsons from TT Games about LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, and Jimmy the Geek gets his nerd on with his top 5 Dungeons & Dragons video games. This is Player Attack. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this week Blizzard is cleaning house. The publisher is gearing up for the final stage of the technical alpha test for Heroes of the Storm, and that means it is about to reset the servers. The in-game character shop was closed on September 22, and all 29 characters are thrown into the free hero rotation. That's not lasting long though. By October, we're told the game will be taken offline for more than a week of maintenance, which is exactly when everybody's progress will be deleted. If you have spent real-world money on the game, don't worry. While you won't be able to keep your purchases, you will be given a refund into your Battle.net account, and then when the game comes back, you can spend it all over again. That's not the only place that Blizzard is slashing and burning. We've also been told that abandoned World of Warcraft accounts are about to be purged. Coinciding with the upcoming major patch 602, any character that's not been played since November 2008 will be wiped, freeing up space and character names ahead of the November launch of Warlords of Draenor. There are still plenty of accounts being left to flourish though. They are all playing cards in the tavern. Hearthstone is enjoying a 20 million strong player base just 6 months after the game hit virtual shelves. That number is only set to grow as Hearthstone heads to mobile devices by the end of the year. Moving on, we have some short and deliciously sweet news from Valve for Australian gamers. 5 years after it was officially released, the uncensored version of Left 4 Dead 2 is now available down under. It has been given an R18 rating, so if you are over 18, do live in Australia and have purchased a censored version, you can now upgrade your copy to restore all the stuff that got Valve in trouble in the first place. Some more good news, the demo version of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS is available for anyone who wants it, as Nintendo does away with invite codes. All you need to do is log into the 3DS eShop and activate the download, and you will be given one stage worth of gameplay with 5 playable characters: Mega Man, Pikachu, Link, Villager, and Mario. The full game is out in October. If you love beautiful games that twist your perceptions, chances are you have already played and loved Monument Valley, so the news that British developer Us2 is working on new levels for the mobile experience should be music to your ears. If you've not played through the Escher-inspired adventures of Princess Ida, you should probably get onto that. The iOS release of the game won an Apple Design Award earlier this year, and it's now available for Android devices as well. Disney Interactive has announced that it will release the Disney Infinity 2.0 toy box as a standalone product for people who don't want to outright buy the newest starter kit and figurines. Launching in November, you will be able to download the software directly and then use your original Disney Infinity base and toys from either 1 or 2 to create your heart's desires. In less good news, sci-fi author Neil Stevenson has announced that his realistic sword-fighting game Clang has been cancelled. The project, which raised more than $500,000 2 years ago and was designed to revolutionise swordplay in video games, was apparently too ambitious for the current gaming climate. According to the author, Clang did actually get to the prototype stage, but it simply wasn't very fun to play, so things didn't really progress much from there. Refunds are being offered for Kickstarter backers, and Stevenson has said he's not bowing out of the game industry just yet. A couple of bits of Assassin's Creed news. Ubisoft has mumbled something about Assassin's Creed Rogue maybe coming to PC as well as PS3 and Xbox 360, but we're not expecting it to land this year. The developer explains it's heard a lot of gamer feedback asking for a home computer edition of the upcoming game, which lets you play as a Templar, so the idea is now officially on the table. And taking the franchise to an all-new platform, we have news about the upcoming film adaptation starring Michael Fassbender. While Assassin's Creed was planned to hit cinemas in August 2015, it's now been pushed back to sometime in 2016. Instead, the August 7 opening weekend has been given to the comic book reboot of Fantastic Four. And finally this week, appropriately, we have the new trailer from Final Fantasy XV, which was shown off at this year's Tokyo Game Show. We were given a fair stack of information about Final Fantasy XV as well. The game is still a long way off. We won't even see a demo version until one arrives alongside Final Fantasy Type 0 HD for PS4 and Xbox One next year. And the project now has a new director. Longtime main man Tetsuya Nomura has been replaced by Hajime Tabata, director of the original Final Fantasy Type 0, as the game nears completion. Nomura will instead focus his attention on the other games in his portfolio, including Kingdom Hearts 3. For more information on any of these stories, or to keep up to date with the latest gaming news, head to playerattack.com. But for now, stick around, we've got plenty more still to come.
Everybody remembers their first love. Mine? I met her when I was a kid one summer in Bordeaux. She was captivating, elusive. A couple of years my senior, but that didn't matter. She moved with a grace and fluidity that I'd never seen before. Sure, she had different coloured panels and sounded like she was seconds from throwing a cam rod, but I didn't care. That Peugeot 205 did something to me. And from that day on, I've been somewhat of a car hipster. The crappier the car, the more I love it. So when Forza Horizon 2 came along, was like, Johnny, we can take you back to France and reunite you with your love. You better believe I was ready. Even if rusty old Peugeots aren't your thing, there's a lot of cars on offer here. You've got everything from top-end Lamborghinis to pure American muscle, to Fiats with lawnmower engines. If you've got a niche, it's likely going to be filled by one of these beauties. The tuning options are still solid as ever, allowing rev heads to tinker with the minute details of gear ratios, or with the hit of a button, let the game's mechanic do all the work for you. If you can imagine it, you can mod it. Like an all-wheel drive, turbocharged rally mini, or a drift-ready combi van. And yes, you better believe I built those. The biggest achievement here is the world of Forza Horizon 2 builds feels vibrant and alive. For a start, it's huge. I'm talking over 200 interconnected roads that will have you driving through mountain passes, down cobbled streets, over-rolling vistas, cruising by oceans, and even barreling off-road like them Duke boys. Every inch of this digital playground just looks straight up amazing. Take those gorgeous landscapes, throw in some variable weather patterns, a day-night cycle, some awesome beats, and you've got the ingredients for a kick-ass road trip. Thankfully this time around, they've dropped the whole cheesy Need for Speed-esque story, where you have to beat some privileged assholes to become King Racer, and they've replaced it with just having fun. The game focuses on letting you do whatever you want. If you want to race, do it. There's plenty of events to choose from, ranging from point to points, rally, and even special events like pitting your car against trains or jets. Don't feel like competing? Then pick a direction and explore. There's hidden barns to find with rare cars stashed in them, discount signs to smash, and olive groves for you to do doughies in, because, you can. France pretty much is the 17th century counterpart of itself. It is your soundbox. Being a racing game though, it's kind of important that the driving feels good, and Forza never fails to impress. Each car feels unique, with their individual quirks to overcome and master, which makes you feel like a boss. This also results in modifications feeling impactful, calculated, and worthwhile. The racing is fast and exciting, with an air of unpredictability coming from constantly shifting between dirt and tarmac, or random weather events like rainstorms slicking up the road mid-race. These occurrences force you to manage your braking and throttle control much more than before, resulting in you really earning every podium finish. The intensity of these races, and sometimes even just being part of the world, is helped so much by the driver task system they've incorporated from Forza 5. The other races don't act like typical AI opponents. They miss turns, cut corners, repeatedly smash into the back of your prized combi van trying to force you off the road. They feel aggressive. They feel fallible. Ultimately, they feel human, and beating them feels more rewarding than ever. The way I see it, Forza Horizon 2 just gets the thrill of cars and racing. Taking the stellar mechanics and visuals from the far more boring brother, Horizon puts fun at the forefront and lets you really put your foot down. What you do is up to you, whether you want to give yourself whiplash or just cruise, take smooth highways or trailblaze down dirt roads. Hell, if you just want to park in a field and take in the serene beauty of a digital Europe, Forza 2 is cool with all of that. There's literally something here for everyone, so buckle up, pack a cold lunch, and hit the road.
This little device here is the Braven BRV1. It's a speaker and it's been designed to take your music to more extreme places. How extreme? Well, we're outside to show it off, so that should give you an idea. It's waterproof, it's shockproof, it's super compact, it's lightweight, and the thing that I really love, it's wireless, which means you can stream music to it straight from your device via Bluetooth. It can also be used as a hands-free microphone for taking calls. It is a power bank, so it will charge your devices via USB, and the best bit, it sounds pretty great too. Overall, it is a pretty nifty little package, and we love it so much, we're giving one away. All you have to do to win your very own Braven BRV1 speaker is head to playerattack.com and follow the links to the Braven competition. From there, you will get all the details you need. Just a heads up, you will need a Facebook account for this one and bonus points if you are on YouTube. The competition is open to everyone in Australia and New Zealand and runs all the way up until October 3, with the winner announced on Player Attack shortly after. For the full terms and conditions, see playerattack.com.
Space, the last remnants of the unexplored. A never-ending expanse of darkness. Here, at the edge of the universe, I look into the abyss and...
Batman!
I look into the abyss.
Bruce!
Seriously?
I'm with Arthur from TT Games. We are talking Lego Batman. It's beyond Gotham. Everyone's going into outer space.
Yes, they are. Yeah, outer space. That is Lego Batman 3 in a nutshell. Beyond Gotham, we're leaving Gotham behind, and we're going to go out and explore the Lantern Worlds. We're going to go out. We're going to try and stop Brainiac. We're going to go out and meet a huge cast of characters. You know, this is going from Lego Batman 1's Heroes and Villains, Lego Batman 2's introduction of the Justice League, Lego Batman 3 leaving Gotham behind and going crazy.
It looks amazing, and it is a completely natural progression. I mean, why would you go smaller?
No, absolutely. You know, it's you know, building, and you know, pardon the pun, but yeah, it's going to sort of like areas where we haven't gone. You know, Lego Batman 3, we've got the classic gameplay that everyone knows and loves, but then we've just added to it in every respect, whether it's character numbers or mechanics or gameplay styles or, you know, what we're going to be doing with the open world stuff. It's just, yeah, we've just gone big on this one.
So yeah, let's backtrack a little bit. Open world stuff. Explain that.
Okay, so Lego Batman 2 had open world Gotham, okay? So Lego Batman 3, because of something that happens in the story, we can't go to Gotham. Brainiac, planets, bottles, everyone can stitch that together, right? So what we're going to do is we allow the player to go at the Batcave to begin with, but you know, you can go to the Watchtower, you can explore the Hall of Doom, you can explore the Hall of Justice, but then as you go out into the wider universe, we're going to allow people to go out to the Lantern Worlds. So it's a natural evolution, and yes, we'll still have the crazy quests and we'll still have the crazy races and all the kind of stuff you want, just in a different location.
Have there been any challenges, given that, you know, if you're on Earth, if you're in Gotham, you've got gravity. If you're in outer space, not necessarily.
And that's something we play with. So in Lego Batman 3, we do have sections where we switch up and lose the gravity. Obviously, for Batman, it means he's got to have this awesome spacesuit. He can't breathe out there. You know, most of them can, so most of them are all right. But yeah, we go really big. We're playing with gravity in a few levels. We do actually go onto the planets, so you know we're all right. There's gravity down there, but it's just a whole new experience for Lego Batman.
Is that a new spacesuit? Your suit looks really good, is all I'm saying. One hero to another, it's really working for you. Sorry, right, brooding. Carry on.
What kind of others can we expect to meet up with?
Okay, in terms of others, at the minute we've obviously announced the Legion of Doom characters. You know, people like Solomon Grundy, you know, Cheetah, Firefly, you know, obviously Lex, Joker. There's a load, and the Justice League guys. Other than that, at the minute we've revealed that Batmite's going to be in the game, who's a crazy little cool character. I really like Batmite. Plastic Man's going to be in the game. Bleeze, who a lot of people might not know, she's not hugely popular, but she's one of the Red Lantern Corps. So obviously with Bleeze being there in the Red Lantern Corps, people can kind of like start pulling things together in their own minds. But you know, character-wise, we are going like pretty epic on this one. We're going over 150 characters. Me and the guys in the office, we've been scouring like old comics, new comics. You know, we're trying to make sure that we get pretty much something from everywhere in the DC universe.
And you guys are obviously working closely with DC to get access to all of these old comics. How do they feel about the fact that this is one of the most popular interpretations of their franchise at the moment?
Well, they love working with us. Obviously we've got a great rapport with them with Lego Batman 1, Lego Batman 2, the Lego Batman movie. Obviously he appeared in the Lego movie, so they're very, very happy with what we do. What is a great thing about it is, though, Lego allows us to kind of mix and match. So we can do some sort of like New 52 stuff, we can do Silver Age stuff, we can put all that stuff together, and because it's in Lego form, it's natural. It doesn't really matter, but they love it. Those guys are constantly sending suggestions, and as a partnership, it's so much fun because they're just sending over some of the stuff that they've characters, and they're going, "Can we get this guy in? Can we get?" And you look and you go, "What is that?" You do a little bit of research and go, "That is amazing. That's got to go in the game." So yeah, we love working with DC. They're so cool.
And obviously working with Lego, on the flip side of who you're working with, that's also obviously a ridiculously close relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just myself, but like everybody at Weeby and also at TT Games, we have a great relationship with Lego, and it's just fun. Seeing stuff that those guys do in the play sets, bringing that into the game and back and forth, and it's really, really good fun.
Do you guys have to check carefully that all of the minifigs that you put in the game could actually exist in the real world?
Yeah, basically everything that goes in the games can be made. So no matter what it is that you see in our video games, you could make that out of Lego yourself. Obviously, we feature all the sets, the play sets, because that's so much fun seeing what those guys make. But then there's a load of stuff that we make ourselves. We've got I think it's about 6 people now at the office that just make Lego. They play with Lego all day. They come up with crazy toys. My favourite bit of what I do is I'll sort of come up with a crazy idea and I'll go down there and ask them to make it, and then they come up a couple of hours later with like this little model going, "How's that?" or "How's this?" Occasionally we sort of have a bit of fun with them, and we do something that's just like, "Can you make this?" and then run away giggling, and then the next thing they come upstairs and it's just like, "Yeah, we've done it." It's like, "Really? Okay, we'll put that in the game as well." So yeah, it's good. Lego is just so much fun. Everyone loves Lego.
I look into the abyss.
No, he's right. It really complements your figure.
Meh, should have stuck with black. Or maybe a really dark gray.
There are few things as gleefully nerdy as surrounding yourself with good friends and drawing weapons against a horde of kobolds. Dungeons & Dragons has led several wannabe adventurers armed with only maps, dice, and solid minds on some epic quests. Unsurprisingly, for a system so rife in numbers and statistics, it often falls to newfangled computers to take care of the difficult maths. Here are the top 5 Dungeons & Dragons video games. Number 5. One thing people notice about regular Dungeons & Dragons games is how few of them actually take place inside a dungeon. Westwood set to change that by setting 1991's Eye of the Beholder entirely in the underground Waterdeep sewers. Features include a first-person perspective, a point-and-click combat system, and recruiting from within the dungeon. This was one of the first D&D video games to capture the feel of an epic quest on home computers. Like a lot of games on this list, it hasn't aged incredibly well, which is unsurprising considering the upgrade that D&D has gone through itself. But it's still a nice piece of gaming history. If you're looking for an authentic, if maybe not the smoothest experience, I can definitely recommend this. Number 4. Not all adventures are about character development or growing as people. Some games are simply about punching orcs in the face. The Tower of Doom was an interesting attempt by Capcom to turn D&D into, of all things, a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's confusing at first, but it makes sense once you realise the mechanics at play. The pacing of tabletop games mean that several slow combat rounds that take ages in real life are resolved instantly in-game. This had the side effect of taking what could have been a generic punch-em-up and giving it a surprising amount of depth. This game is a great example of how automation can take a really solid system and use it to create new experiences, or help realize an old one. Number 3. D&D has been around for nearly 40 years now. After years of confusing words like Thaco and Tensor's floating discs, the game was streamlined in the early 2000s to be less intimidating for new players, and a dark new adventure came with it. Neverwinter Nights was a great way to get familiar with the new system. The plot was interesting, the quests were open, and you had just as much of chance of succeeding whether you played a rogue, a wizard, or a fighter. Certainly a landmark in both tabletop and PC-based RPGs, even if the NPCs had a tendency to break the illusion by referring to hit points and dice rolls in dialogue. Number 2. This list would not be complete without adding this one. This is the game everyone thinks of when we think Dungeons & Dragons. Since the first game came out in 1998, the Baldur's Gate series, set in the ever-popular Forgotten Realms, has been synonymous with Western RPGs. Taking the role of an orphan out for revenge and going on an epic quest, the game shipped on an unheard-of 5 CD-ROMs. Baldur's Gate remains popular even today thanks to an enhanced edition that was released in 2012. It's a big game for big fans and a great way to experience D&D for the first time. Number 1. There is one game that captures exactly what it is to be up late at night with a group of friends playing D&D. Creating one of the largest world ever pioneered, Planescape Torment was a brilliantly written adventure that had everything a good D&D campaign should have. Intrigue, violence, and a hilarious talking skull in the first 5 minutes. Playing as the Nameless One, players go through an elaborate quest to find out why they can't die. If people are looking to find out exactly what Dungeons & Dragons is and why it appeals to so many people, this would be a great place to start. It's a fun, exciting, and challenging adventure through a wonderful world filled with quirky and interesting characters. It's exactly what a game of D&D should be about.
And that's about it for this edition of Player Attack. Thanks for watching. Next week, Jimmy the Geek chats to Sega about Alien Isolation. I find out all about Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and we send Jonny Robot on a road trip to check out The Evil Within at Warner Brothers Movie World on the Gold Coast. In the meantime, you can catch us on playerattack.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you've got something you want to say, send us an email, mailbox@playerattack.com, or just hop on our forums. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this is Player Attack.